Banks. I'm Sue Artz. Welcome to a new episode of OBXE TV. We're here today with our special guest, Captain Tim Story with Outer Banks Fishing Charters. Well, thanks for being here again, Captain Tim. It's great to have you back.
Thank you for having me back.
And thanks again for being part of our first Halloween parade of costumes back in October. It was great to have you there.
I enjoyed that very much. I really did. I was telling Matt that I was going to try to do something a little more with my table next year. So.
Nice. And I know you also gave us an awesome prize for our group costumes that was a half a day fishing charter. Yep. So I know they'll be hitting you up soon with the nice weather coming.
That's right. Yeah, I told him to wait and get a good day of fishing. So
nice.
Hopefully they'll call me soon.
Yeah, definitely. So how long have you been a charter boat captain?
This is going on my 10th year of my own business. So it's something that I've always wanted to do when I was a kid. So it was I'm very fortunate to do something that I love, and
yeah, definitely.
And very fortunate to do something I told my friends when I was younger that this is what I would be doing, and this is what I'm doing. So.
Yeah. So did you go back to your high school reunion?
No,
just so you could
I
say
don't
that.
ever.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't ever go back to them. No.
I don't blame you. Me neither. But so were you like an apprentice for somebody before you got your own?
No, I pretty much it was all me.
Nice. That's awesome. So you just built it from
built
nothing.
it from scratch.
Awesome. Yep. And now you're in the process of building a new
Yes,
boat.
I have been a new boat that I've acquired that was in bad shape, and I've pretty much I got a good friend of mine who's a boat builder, Will Spencer, who is tore it completely apart, and it's basically going to be a brand new boat.
Nice.
Just saved an old one and give it a new life on the water.
Nice.
So it's all going to be built custom for my clients, you know, for their fishing in mind and their comfort. So it's a 27-foot Seahawk, and it's going to have a cabin with a head, so people have a bathroom on board.
Nice.
And it's going to be nice. It's all going to be custom inside, so it'll really be a nice treat for my customers.
Cool. So that's going to be bigger than your boat you have now?
Yes.
Nice. So how many people will
6 people are the max on the license anyway, but it will be a comfortable 6 people.
Spread out a little bit.
Yeah. So it'll be plenty of room. And I also have one of my good friends, Chess Tyson. He's just got him a new boat finished and he built. It was another example of saving a boat from the death of a junkyard. And he brought that one from New Jersey.
Wow.
And he got his boat completed this year, and he's actually going to be running Gulfstream trips. So through me, I'm going to be helping him for people that want to do Gulfstream trips. He'll be running those. So either way, I can cover people from Gulfstream fishing to inshore fishing.
Nice. So Gulfstream, that's like a full day?
Yes, they're full day trips.
Yeah. And so the half day is like right in like Oregon?
Yeah, half day trips will be staying just inside the inlet or just outside the inlet fishing some of the wrecks or something. And I have a 3/4 day that's offered too, which is really one of the most popular trips. That's 8 to 2. And it's 6 hours. Because sometimes people just don't understand how long a full day is on the water. You know, 8 hours on the water is a long day.
Yeah.
And especially if people have kids.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, the 6 hours is about perfect. You know, that gives them that little bit of extra fishing time.
Right.
And in case they want to ride out a little further, or if we have to chase fish around.
Right.
So, and that 8 to 2 is just perfect for them.
Nice.
And on the half day trips, you know, sometimes the little kids, their limit's about 3 hours. They get to about that 3 hour limit, and they're looking at their parents like, can we go do something else now? Can we go to the sand dunes? So I'm like, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good year this year. I'm ready to work. It's been such a long winter.
It has been.
Yeah, so I'm ready. I'm ready to go up and running. So the name of the boat is going to be Tar Heel Tide.
Cool.
So it's kind of a reflection of my area, my hometown. So it's I thought it was pretty cool, and it's like I say, it's going to have head inside the boat. It's going to have bench seats in for comfort. It's had plenty of room in the back for 6 people. It's got all high definition electronics.
Cool.
We'll have a tower on it so we can sight cast for drum and cobia. So it's going to be a very dry ride. So if people want to hide from the sun, if they've been standing out in the sun too long, they have a place they can get under and get away from the sun. Or if we get caught in some bad storms or something, they can stay dry. So it's a big difference in having that for the people.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. So if I guess you have some coupons floating around.
Yes, the Outer Banks Beach Explorer, which is put out by the Beach Book.
That's that thing that
goes on the refrigerator.
Okay.
Yeah, and all the rental houses. I do have a full page ad in there again this year as usual, and it does have a $25 off discount for a half-day trip.
Nice. So, and is that the only place where they can?
Yes, that would be the only place they can get a coupon.
Okay.
Yeah. All they have to do is when they call the book the trip is to just mention that ad. So just tell them they found me through that.
So they don't actually have to have the piece of paper, or
no, they can just call. They can just call through that.
Cool. So if somebody, I guess, how far in advance should they book their?
Right now, people that are looking to like book in June and July, I would highly suggest they at least book something by the beginning of May. Because the worst thing they can do is wait to try to book a trip when they're here.
Right.
Because when they get here and start calling around booking a trip, more than likely you're gonna have a hard time finding something.
Exactly.
You know, so pre-booking is definitely where it's at to get the person that you want to get.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, because there's probably a ton of them out there.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of guys out there. I mean, it's something that they will find somebody to fish with, but it's it gets booked up pretty quickly. You know, it's just tough for somebody to do that when they get here thing.
Right, and you do it every day of the week, right?
Oh yes, it's 7 days a week.
What happens if it's like raining?
I don't want to be out there no more than they do.
Right. So you try to reschedule.
Yeah, I'll either reschedule, or if I have a spot I can move them to, or either I'll find them a captain, that can take them. So it's I just dragging people out in bad weather, and it's never a good thing.
Do you ever get people who've never been on a boat like that? I don't think I've ever been way out like that. Do they get seasick or?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. I mean, it's most of the time if they're fishing inside the inlet, it's about a 99.9% they don't get sick. I mean, it's just like pretty much fishing on a lake.
Right, right.
But if you break outside the inlet and start going out in the ocean, of course, I mean that's where if you're gonna get seasick, that's where you're gonna get seasick. Right. But I guess you don't know until you try it. So.
Right. I'd probably be like that 0.1% who just on the lake. I'd be like, oh.
But I do get people that's never even been on a boat before, or never even been fishing.
Yeah. Well, it's probably really different on a boat than.
Yeah, I mean,
probably a little more exciting anyway, because you can kind of chase the fish instead of just standing on the.
It's hard to comprehend that you meet people that's never been fishing, but you have to understand that we're just lucky enough to live where we live. A lot of people are landlocked. And,
right.
And even though they got streams and lakes,
yeah, it's different.
You gotta have that mindset that don't everybody fish every day.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I'm sure that a lot of people probably say, "Oh, you got the best job in the world," but I'm sure it's hard.
They tell me that all the time.
It is hard being out there with the wind and the sun and.
Yeah, they have no clue. It's like they look at it, and it is. I mean, like I say, I don't take it for granted because I'm very fortunate to do what I do. But it's a job just like any other job.
Right, it's hard work.
And it's hard work. I mean, you're on the water from sun up to sundown, and you're in that heat all day long, and it's tough. But like I say, I'm not going to fuss too much about it because it is what I want to do, and it's a good job. So
yeah, definitely. What's your favorite thing about taking people out there? Is it when they catch their first fish?
Yes. It's when you see kids on the boat and that's the first time they've seen these kind of fish, or maybe it's their very first fish ever.
Wow.
And that really is when you sit back and I'm like, these kids will never forget me.
Right.
Because they were on my boat and they were with me when they caught their first fish. This will be something when they grow up.
Yeah.
They'll always remember me as long as they live.
Nice.
So it's that's the cool thing about it. And it's the same thing with adults. You get some adults on the boat that's never caught a fish and they're like, wow,
Excited.
So I don't know. I just get a kick out of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what kind of fish? Just any tuna? And...
No, we don't.
Well, that's in the winter, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, my business don't do the Gulf Stream.
Okay.
You know, we don't. That's my buddy Chess who will handle the tuna and stuff like that. We do mostly the inshore and just offshore. You know, we'll do like the drum, trout, and flounder, the triggerfish, and then we'll do wreck fishing. You know, like sharks, spades. This year we're gonna start getting in a little more cobia fishing because the new boat that I'm building is gonna have a tower too. So we're gonna get into that a little more.
And those can get pretty.
Oh yeah, they get pretty big.
Nice.
And the drum get pretty big. So I mean, last year I had a kid. Just to give you a quick story, we were fishing over on one of the islands inside the inlet, and the little boy had the rod, and his dad, I'd already gave him a nickname. I like giving my people little nicknames. And I called him the Chicago Kid. So he was from Chicago, and I was like, I was messing with him. And the little boy had the fishing rod, and he kept telling me he had something big. And I kept looking over, and I'm pretty good at looking at my rod tips, and I'll watch my rod tips. And if we're drum fishing, we're just pretty much sitting still anchored and got the baits out. And you just wait for the rod to go off. And I really don't like people touching them because if they're handling it and you move it, most of the time our drum will just let it go. And they're real spooky fish. Right. So if you're sitting in the rod holders and you wait for that rod tip to go down, you know he's on there, then you grab it. But the little boy was persistent on handing one, so I gave him one, threw it out the side, away from the other ones I had. And I watched his rod tip bounce a couple of times, and I would have put everything on a stingray. So when he finally said, "Oh, I got something big, Captain," he said, "I got something big." I saw him over there reeling in that thing and reeling it, and the rod was all bent over, and a stingray just does a certain thing when he's on the line. You can
flare it a little bit.
And the way it was moving, I was like, yeah, stingray. So he fought it for a while, and I went over there. After he fought it for a while, I tightened the drag up just a little bit. And they handed it off to his dad. They started reeling it. It went all the way around the front of the boat. I had to get into the mix because I had to get it under the anchor rope, handed it back to the guy, went back to the kid. It was like 4 different people on the rod. And I was just telling them, I was like, oh, it's a big stingray. So I handed it back to the little kid. He finally got it up, and it broke the surface, and it was about a 38-pound drum. Wow. And I think it measured right about 56 inches. Wow. And when I saw that, I was like, holy crap. So I went and loosened the drag back down again. Yeah. The little kid looked at me and said, "I told you I had a big fish." And I was like, "Yes, you did, buddy. Yes, you did. I got to give it to you on that one." But we fought that thing. He finally got it in. It took the net plus 3 guys to grab it and throw it in the boat. Wow. And the little kid caught a fish that was almost double his size. I bet, yeah. And I put it in the Chicago kid's hands, and it's actually my first picture on my website. He's holding it, and then I have to tell him you have to let it go. You know, because drum have a size limit. Yeah. They're too big, you have to throw them back. Huh. So he looked at me, he was like, "What? We got to let this go." I said, "Yeah, we got to let it go, man." So they took their pictures and let it go. But that little kid caught that on just a bottom rig with a little hook.
Just got lucky, huh?
Fish like that. Wow. I mean, that's what gives me a kick. When I see things like that, and little kid tells me my fishing, which I owned up to it. And, but yeah, that's just one story that. Yeah, I bet you have tons. Not a many, but.
I didn't know that. I knew that they could be too small, but I never heard of them being
they
too
can
big.
Be too big too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's 18 to 27. Anything in between 18 to 27 you can keep.
So if they catch it and you keep it, then do they like take it home and eat it?
Oh yeah.
Cool. So that's just like included in the.
Yeah, we have a fish cleaner at the marina. He charges it's an extra charge in a fish cleaner, but yeah, we have a fish cleaner at the marina that can clean their catch after the day.
Nice. Yeah, kind of messy. My dad taught me how to do. We just have little trout.
No. Yeah, most people don't want to take it back to their rental home, and
right.
I think disposing of the carcasses is the worst part of it. I mean, they don't want those fishy things sitting around their rental home all day. So.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. Wow. Have you ever you or somebody caught something that like you'd never seen before?
Yeah, we've caught some very I've caught a couple of snakeheads.
Ooh, I don't think I
And
would like that.
within the years into sound, which is kind of unusual, but yeah, I mean, every once in a while, you'll pull up something that you're not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's that's the cool thing about the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much stuff out in the ocean that you could catch something new every year.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's see here. I know we talked to you. Actually, we met at a horror convention in Virginia Beach a few years ago. So we figured we'd get a little personal with you and ask you about your love of horror movies, because we're big horror movie buffs and Halloween and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So what's like your favorite scary movies?
Oh, I'll tell you, it was growing up watching horror movies in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Was the best time ever.
Yeah.
And I was trying to tell my daughter that I was having a debate. She was trying to tell me, even for her to say the 90s was better is kind of unusual, because she's only 15. So she didn't have the 90s, so she had the 2000s. But
right.
we were having a debate, which she is well enough known that nowadays ain't nothing really made as good as it was 10 years ago, much less 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But
so you're raising her well.
That's yeah. So, but the 80s to me was the best time to grow up as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
I don't know, I was hung on the Friday the 13th movies and the Halloween movies, and you know, back then you go up by and you catch a glimpse of a trailer on TV that's coming out of the theater, and so you don't have that nowadays. You don't really have that excitement of going to the theater and watching a movie like you did back when I was growing up. You know, back then I remember as a kid, you see, the one that sticks in my head was a Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter.
Mm-hmm.
When that one come out, I remember everybody at school talking about, oh God, Jason got it at the end. You know, this is he's done for at the end, and you just couldn't wait to get to the theater to watch it.
Right.
That and the Nightmare on Elm Streets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Nightmare on Elm Streets, when they were coming out, I remember when it was the Freddy's Dead, when they had the actual 3D glasses you put on in the theater. I mean, that's, you know, that stuff's so gone now that it don't exist now. It's sad, but things were just so much cooler back then. But yeah, Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on Elm Streets, the Halloweens, the Evil Deads.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were all my favorites. But I think the ones that stuck with me the most were the first Halloweens and the Friday the 13th.
Yeah. So have you seen any of the remakes of? I'm sure you've seen them.
Yeah.
And you don't like them.
Well, the Evil Dead remake was pretty good. I gotta give credit on that one. That one was pretty good. But no, the remakes are.
You didn't like Rob Zombie's remakes?
The first one I did. I think the second one just kind of.
Yeah, it was like a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one I think did a little bit of justice to it, but.
Right.
It's hard for them to do a remake that gains any credit to it.
Right. And now they're remaking everything. And I think that's part of what made those movies...
But that's the non-creativity.
Right. That's what made them special when we were growing up, is because...
There were no remakes. They were all original.
Right. And there was hardly any movies, too. You know, like, now there's so many movies. And yeah, but, yeah, so... Yeah,
so I'm a big horror films buff, so... I enjoy it. When we were at that convention, though, I enjoyed that so much. Kind of a bummer they don't have any more around. You know, they said they're going to have one and it gets canceled. And,
yeah. It's supposed to be coming back maybe next year, they said.
Really?
So,
that's good.
yeah, it was just funny because you spotted us because we were wearing our OBXE tags, and you're like, hey.
Yeah.
And we've been...
And I saw him over there talking to Daniel Harris.
Yeah.
So that's where I spotted him.
Yeah, that was like his favorite.
And she's one of my favorite too. You know, it's like her is the kid in the Halloween movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's Part 4 and Part 5 are just kind of like they take a different direction. They go a different way in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they are probably, other than the first one, two of my favorite ones.
Yeah, I like those ones too.
So, but yeah, it's saw you guys bouncing around in there and.
Yeah, that's definitely what we had no idea until just a couple years ago, how much fun those were, and getting to actually meet the real people now. And
yeah, I think the coolest person I met at those, I don't know, it's a close one. Kane Hodder was definitely.
I had to get choked by him.
Yeah, I did too. And let me tell you something. When he put his hand around my neck,
he didn't do it that hard to me. I'm like, come on, because he was like, he did it to him, and he was turning purple.
He had some force on me. I mean, it was like, yeah, and him and Steve Dash.
I loved him too.
Steve Dash
he
was,
got a picture with him too.
Yeah,
he's just a cool guy. Yeah,
it would be nice if they get him back.
Yeah, definitely.
I would definitely go to it.
Maybe we'll have a special guest sometime for our Halloween parade.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'll get one of those big guys come down here. Maybe. Nice. Well, I guess probably not everybody enjoys horror as much as we do. But
no.
Figured while I had you on the couch, we'd try to get to know you a little bit more, and so people can know what to expect.
I was always a big action guy too. Now I was Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
Mm-hmm.
They were definitely right on top of my list. Predator, Total Recall, Running Man, Terminator.
Yeah.
Any of the Arnold movies and Sylvester Stallone. Those the Rocky movies, the Rambo movies.
Yeah.
It was I don't know. It's just so much better back then.
Yeah. Were you into Star Wars at all?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Are you looking forward
to Star Wars guy
to what Disney's gonna do?
I don't know. I kind of got disappointed in that.
Yeah, it'll be different.
Empire Strikes Back is probably one of the best movies ever made.
Nice. Yeah, I hadn't really ever seen the Star Wars until Matt, but
right.
I think I like the newer ones though.
I'm a Star Trek guy too now.
Star Trek. Yeah. Nice. Well, thanks for coming back. And if somebody wants to book a charter, they can go to Outer Banks Fishing Charters .net
or .com.
Oh, now you got the .com.
Or .com.
Yep.
Outer Banks Fishing Charters .net or .com.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I hope you have a busy year, and
I'm looking forward to it. I'll tell you, I'm so ready. It's like I said, it's been such a in the wintertime. So this is my full-time job.
Right.
This is what I do for a living. I don't have any other thing. This is what I do. And in the wintertime, the rock fishing, the striper fishing has really disappeared from this area so much that you have a downtime.
Right.
So I take my downtime and do boat maintenance and and
website maintenance,
try to improve my business by buying nicer equipment, nicer boats. So it's you have that downtime, and then all of a sudden you're just ready to go. And that's the downfall of it. You work so hard during the summer, it's like somebody flips a switch.
It's exactly
and you have to go from full on out to stop.
To nothing, right.
And you have to adjust.
Yeah.
Then you go from the all night to the stop to cranking it up again.
Yeah. We're about to start our spring training this month, so we say we're going to do it every year because once the season kicks in, we're like,
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. So anybody ready to go fishing, just give me a call. It's 252-256-2047, or they can book through the website.
Cool. Yeah. Very cool. Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming, and I guess maybe we won't even see you again until October when it slows down a little bit.
I'm looking forward to the Halloween parade.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So hopefully you'll be able to come back and join us again.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that again.
Cool.
Enjoy it. Thank y'all for having me.
Awesome. Well, I'm Sue Artz with OBXentertainment.com and OBXE TV, and we'll see you next time.